Yeah. So who would like to start, Padma?
Yeah. Uh, See, this chapter, I was quite hesitant with the title, with the name, but how I was, like I've been my childhood, or how I have been trained. But then I now understand it is most fascinating, and it's like actually it is misunderstood concept. Like it's like how it is very accessible and how it empowers women. So, in essence, what they are trying to say is this is the sex transmutation. It is just not physical or an emotional context. It has to be, harnessed and transformed like the energy. It has to be transformed into a powerful force wherein your creativity, your ambition, and success is, more encouraged, or it comes out with this energy for the with this sexual energy. So it has to be redirected. That's what they're trying to highlight here. It is about like how you redirect this energy, this raw and passionate energy, by giving life to your dreams, goals, and purpose, is what the highlight of the entire chapter is. So, how we are all preconditioned. I mean, we in the sense, yes, how I was preconditioned, and what is the learning that I have. Like to read this chapter, I felt little, I had some shame in reading this, and I was quite scared that how I mean, almost my suppressed feelings, like all these things, I really feel that it has to be flipped, and instead of hiding it, it has to be how it has to be redirected, and how it has to encourage and honor us to understand and consciously channel this into something which is, what into channeling it into something, a greater purpose. So that is a core message here, is what my understanding is. It is just not intimacy, but it is a energy and creative energy, and it's a vibrational power that you have, and this energy has to be redirected with a good intention. It becomes a driving force, and yes, this is my learning end. Hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
great
ma'am.
sharing.
Very nice
Yes. Yeah.
conclusion.
Actually, how much I was, in fact, I was sweating to read, honestly speaking. So much of suppression, I was so scared to read it. Like, uh, Pinaki has given me the opportunity to lead this session. I'm so happy. I was doing with lot of enthusiasm. In right from the last chapter, I was just worried how will, if Pinaki asked me to explain, what will I do, because I didn't go into the chapter. Only now, after reading this chapter, like it is so beautiful. Yeah, it is really, what is a connection? This is reminding women to stay healthy. It's a soulful relationship, and how it amplifies my, my energy and my vision. So, this is so beautiful, so very beautiful.
See how beautiful this one paragraph is. He'll
Which
identified uncontrollable sex urges as an irresistible force which
how
risk
beautiful.
diminishing a man's power. He suggested an empowered and, at the time, provocative solution to this problem.
Mm.
Points out that the desire for sex, love, and romance is inborn and natural, and that the sex desire is connected to spiritual urges. The intensity, power, and primacy of sex, love, and romance are energies. When we value those natural inborn urges, we prosper. When we value those natural and inborn urges, we prosper.
Very
I think
true.
this is
How much a
Carol talking
pattern,
about.
Pinaki, is, the patterns are just in us that, we just go by those patterns. So I
Yeah.
totally, absolutely, such a beautiful lesson, actually.
See how
I mean, beautiful
beautifully it has
chapter.
been written. In today's world, applying, directing, and making sacred our sexual, romantic, passionate natures is a success strategy that enriches mind, body, and spirit, in addition to our paychecks, pocketbooks, and portfolios. Sexual energy can create financial freedom for women as well as men. Madonna is known for her continuously reinventing both her music and her image as a philanthropist and icon. and has received acclaim as a role model for businesswomen in media. But she lived only for 34.
Yes, very, very, very short lived.
I discovered that, see, all these great people who brought a big change in the world, they survived for a very small period of their
I know,
time.
I know, I know.
Think
Is
of
it? I,
Swami
I,
Vivekananda, only
can you
39
connect
years.
that? Can you connect that? In fact, I also have this. I need more insights into this. Even Vivekananda, such
Yeah,
a great.
39.
Yes. So I'm really, I don't know why this is there. I mean, I want to learn more on this. Why does this is what is the beautiful insight here? I want to take it actually.
So, like Madonna is the first lady in the world who
Mm,
created this new concept that yes, you to exist, we to exist,
mm,
and it's we who are managing the whole show, right from giving birth to you men.
mm.
And like this is the big power that you have. So it's amazing. It's actually amazing. For women, it's different, almost the opposite. Hill asserts that men need to discover the willpower to not to be controlled by their needs. For women, it's very different, almost the opposite. A woman needs to learn to care for herself and give her inner and outer self the attention that she's yearning for. The
Mm.
sex, love, and romance energy is transmuted in a healthy, vital, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially rich life. And how many of you notice this?
Ritual practice.
Time, energy, and attention.
Yes.
Ah, yes. Tea.
TEAM, time, energy, attention, and money.
See, yeah.
The
Mm.
concept that,
How can we miss that, Pinaki? How, no, definitely we won't miss that.
so
Yeah,
what Hill is saying that this is when you take control of these three things,
yes.
you will automatically take control of money. And what I really liked about this Mother Teresa chapter,
Yes, very beautiful. In fact, it was
this is
just,
so powerful
yes,
because I have seen her from close quarters during my
yes. I was
journalism, during
just about to add
postgraduate.
this line also, Pinaki. I just wrote it.
So I could exactly see what is being presented in this paragraph. See, she is the only Indian lady who is being mentioned in this whole book.
Mm,
No other Indians have been mentioned in this whole book. Like somebody who is in India and doing something in India, sitting in India. She's well known as a humble Catholic nun, a spiritual teacher, and a guide. She possessed those precious feminine attributes of grace, receptivity, piety, and modesty. She was a deep lover of Jesus and someone who maintained a deep spiritual practice. She had a heart of compassion for helping, healing, and working with the poor. Mother Teresa was also a fundraiser extraordinaire. Did you notice that I always talk about when we talk about money for
very
NLP
true,
in
very
Action
true.
workshop?
Yes,
Why I
yes.
always talk about raising funds?
Mm,
It's not
yes.
about earning money. It's all about raising funds to fulfill a desire of your choice. And this book is all about how to fulfill your desires, applying faith, applying auto suggestion, applying masterminds. She raised billions to fund her charity in India with a savvy and effectiveness that are world renowned. Imagine during those years, it's almost about 30 years ago, she raised billions, billions. She took the energy of love and passion and the creative energies of masculine and feminine and placed them together into a beautiful, inspiring life.
Inspiring.
I'm
Life.
telling you,
Mm.
all you wonderful angels, you too have this power. You only need to believe in yourself, have faith, and just jump in and make it happen. Let the world see. I really want to listen from Gayatri, from Anjali about your insights from this wonderful reading. Just go ahead, feel free, and you know, you have all that power.
So there is like what we believe Shiva and Shakti. the masculine and feminine power. Every person is complete only when they realize, but it is the balance, completeness is there with the Shiva and Shakti. Masculine, जो शिवा का कहते हैं ना, द पावर, उनका एंगर, एंड मदर, जो शक्ति है उनकी तरफ से मदरली जो फीलिंग्स हैं. So that is what makes a person complete. And this is what the author is also talking about, the masculine and feminine energy and how we can use it together और फोकस करके ना we can achieve anything. उससे जो आप फंड जनरेट करना है या अपना सेल्फ वर्थ को रियलाइज करना है. सो this is many times na ladies, they are swayed away with the motherly care or they forget about themselves. And similarly the father, they are also, एक होता है कि दे आर ओनली इनटू द प्ले, लाइक रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं कि वी हैव टू गो आउट एंड वर्क, एक फिजिकल उस पे रह जाते हैं, दे लीव द इमोशनल सेंस. एंड एक कहा जाता है ना, मेन नेवर क्राई. So that is the emotional thing which they fail to realize, that this is what it makes them complete. So everyone possesses both the qualities, the masculine energy and the feminine energy. और इसी से we need to realize that एक self awareness आना जरूरी है, and that is the learning जो सबको एक it gives awareness and it gives power to our passion and it gives that एक उसको ना fuel करता है to creativity and achieving something whatever we desire for, we look for. So this is, I connected it with the spirituality in that manner कि एक balance किसी भी चीज का, फेमिनिन, मैस्कुलिन, पॉजिटिव, नेगेटिव, डार्क या ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट. सो देयर इज ऑलवेज एक जो ऑपोजिट्स का बैलेंस होता है. दिस इज दैट. मुझे ये समझ में आया. एंड
Beautiful.
लेडीज जो हैं वो मोस्टली अपने आप को भूल जाती हैं, सेल्फ केयर का भूल जाते हैं स्पेशली. एक एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल था इसमें, वेयर जो लेडीज है ना, वो बोलते हैं ना कि आई वॉन्ट टू नो वाई द पर्सन इज नॉट कॉलिंग बैक. सो दैट इज अ वेरी रियल लाइफ एग्जाम्पल. It happens, we are so eager that why one is not responsive about something, whereas men, they just tend to say it's okay, he will reply when he has the time. So this is the emotional part which is highlighted here, that women, they are mostly known for that kind of sexual energy, or their sexual energy means love and care. For men it is different, but it doesn't mean sex doesn't mean कि वो, तो यहाँ पर sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
हाँ,
Some other
so
noise is coming.
this is what कि she ignores, ये है ना, she ignores her own needs and depletes time and energy. She wastes on others. She invests her love, her sexual energy, or on caring for others. So that she needs to balance. She needs to balance that energy as well for herself. It is very important. Self-care is very important in that emotional state of mind. Na, she generally avoids her own being. So that needs to be balanced. So यही है, that's all.
आपके साथ ऐसा होता है?
बहुत होता है. बहुत होता है. That's why ना I was able to connect my, because I force my husband कि पूछो पूछो क्यों नहीं आया, या we should leave or we should start, उसका वेट कर रहे हैं. तो कहेंगे अरे वो आ जाएगा, I have messaged him. I say why do you WhatsApp him? Why can't you call and ask? So that impatience is there. It comes. Many times it happens. So I was able to connect, but he's so calmly, he would sit and say, "Arey ho jayega, nothing to worry." But I feel ki okay, it might be like that person is not sure about it, or something else is going on in the mind. So sometimes the negative thoughts also start dwelling, na? So it creates that feeling. So this happens.
See, I'm surrounded by 4 women in my life. My mom, my wife, and 2 daughters. So I'm observing all these small things from very close quarters. Since I'm a coach and I know that I'm very good at observing people. I know that I'm very good at observing how people talk, how people walk, what kind of words they are using in their communication, what kind of body language they are using, what kind of intonation they are using. So most of it I actually learned from observing these four creatures in my family. You know, so like when I read this book originally, the original, I would request all of you to read the original Hill book also, Think and Grow Rich, this sex part. Though he was talking more about men over there and why men need to satisfy their sex, what kind of, why men need to have a personal secretary, those messages were there. This part of this chapter is being written from a different context altogether, where it is being said that woman has all those qualities. At the same time, they also have some unique qualities which can make this world a better place. You know, that kind of words which are coming out from lector's pen, that the more pleasure in your life, the more profitable your life will be. Karen Russo reminds us that we all have masculine and feminine traits related to wealth, financial and spiritual and creation. From purpose, focus, and clarity to grace, receptivity, satisfaction, and gratitude, women are well equipped with all these attributes and will not only create wealth for themselves, but through their gratitude, bringing financial and spiritual wealth to their families, associates, and communities. Now, you know why the whether Sitaraman is the right choice as a finance minister or not. But I strongly attribute these qualities in her. So I studied her in many different ways. I listened to many of her speeches, the kind of words that she used in her communication. I would strongly recommend you to do that if you can. Listen to her speeches. Listen to the speeches of Indira Gandhi. You know, you will be amazed that how they are putting up all these things in perspective. Susma Swaraj. If you listen to her video recordings, there are quite a few available on YouTube nowadays. You will be amazed that they
Nirmala
have all
Sitaraman,
demonstrated.
she scolds in such a strong manner, na, the kind of words she uses, na, to reprimand
Yes,
someone. It's so strong and bluntly she would just point out.
yes. And
Very strong
if you
representation.
listen to her attentively, sometimes at least it happens with me. Like I have goosebumps, and when I listen to her, and imagine how
Listen to.
strong that lady is.
Hmm.
How strong.
The day she was presenting the budget, that day one should have heard her. How
Yeah,
strongly she speaks.
yeah.
The parliament, she is the alone lady alone facing so many men and giving a tough fight to all those accusations and clarifying every doubts.
Yes, yes. You all can do that, by the way. शिव का शक्ति एक ही है, लेकिन दुर्गा का शक्ति 10 है. Men cannot create; they can manage. You have the power to create. You know, you must respect yourself for that. You know, always remember this, that I have the power to create. And once I create, men can only manage it. I have the power to nurture. Men cannot nurture. Men can only do one thing, manage. They don't even manage the households. They just manage the situations there. But woman manages the household. Whether she is working or not working really doesn't matter. But in all possibilities, they manage the household. They still have time to sit with their children on the study table. Men rarely have it. So, and imagine the power you women have. You can satisfy a man, you can satisfy a child, you can satisfy a woman also. Men don't have those qualities. And that is what this is being highlighted in this chapter. I would strongly recommend to read another book. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. It's a phenomenal book. You must read, all of you must read this book. In fact, we can take this book after this. It is one of my favorites, and it can transform a human being like anything at any given point of time. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Okay, yeah, Rajeshwari, your take. You still have 2 minutes. We can.
So my takeaways and the lesson that I learned from today's session is that I am a Durga. I have the power to create. I have the power to nurture. And earlier, about the sex transmutation, I was not that much aware. Today, by reading the book and understanding and listening the sharing, I am feeling very uh, great or awesome. That it's really wonderful if the ladies. What happened in the ladies' case now, we need that someone give their attention, someone appreciate my work. It's a feeling of mine also, and the ladies who are present over here, वो भी जब खाना बनाती है दे फील कि हाँ उनके हस्बैंड या उनके बच्चे बोले ऐसा कई बार लगता है वट एवर द वर्क वी आर डूइंग even in the offices also we feel that someone admires but what I feel that we ladies should admire each other and even as a self love practice then your spiritual practice is also mentioned so by following all these things we can empower us I can empower myself so really a wonderful topic today we have read and discussed and so many old thoughts that were in the mind about of sex transmutation I was also not understanding yet I have read in the Napoleon Hill book that was in the men today my understanding of this is more powerful now I can explain to the kids the girls especially of the school of classes 8 and 9 if I got the
Yeah,
chance
big time,
yeah
big time.
yes to make them
You know,
understand what this energy is how we can channelize them for the
absolutely.
imagination, creating wealth, love, peace everywhere. Thank you so much. Really a wonderful
Actually,
session.
actually, the sex hormones are supposed to give energy to the body. So,
Mm.
so that is why they call it this sexual transmutation is related to that energy. That energy we can direct or transform to something positive. So that this is what author is pointing out that those moments are the highest point of anyone's energy when energy is at the peak. So you can utilize that energy wisely. That is why it is related to sexual transmutation, sex, the
In
sex
fact,
hormone. Yeah.
exactly, Anjali. Let me just add something to what you said. See, all the kind of energies that we talk about in the scientific domain. Now, sex is an energy which is still not measurable. Like we still human beings couldn't create an instrument using which you can figure out or you can add or create a unit of how to measure sex. So sex is also a form of energy. Like money is a form of energy, which I always say it's energy exchange that we do. Sex is also exactly the same. It is also a form of energy. And energy is the total amount of energy is always fixed in the universe. What we can do with the energy, we can just change the shape and form of that energy into different other forms of energy. Sex is such a powerful energy that if you actually start studying it, you will be amazed by it on your own automatically. You can't even imagine how much power you have. It's a very powerful. Imagine it gives what birth to a new life. Can you imagine that? That is the power of sex. Though the world is creating new life through in vitro processes nowadays, but even then, you still need an egg and a sperm to fertilize it. You can't create that in the lab. That is the power of sex energy. People, since they don't have these energies at the highest level, that is the one of the reason why they are failing to conceive, because most of the time their energies are drained out. They do not have energy enough to ensure that a sperm fertilizes an egg over. It is as simple as that. Because they are unable to channelize their energies of sex. It's a very good topic, very deep topic. If you love to continue this conversation, we can discuss later also. Because I've studied a lot on this over last, I would say almost 15-20 years, just as hobby, not to discuss with anybody. But now, since I became a life coach, I started discussing these matters also with people. So my suggestion would be just read this chapter, and out of all those 21 steps to make best harness the power of the sexual energy, as the author suggested, just pick up one of three of them, practice it for 30 days, and then pick another three, then practice it for 30 days. I would strongly recommend you do that. It will transform you anyway. You will transform to transmute your energies into any form of energy that you want to see for yourself. Okay, so that's it from my side. In fact, I too need a lot of guts to talk to in a group of ladies, being a lone man. However, I enjoy the discussion because I know that from where I'm operating. So I don't have those challenges while talking, even about sex with children, with ladies. So great, a fantastic session. Let's practice it. What we can do, we can revisit this same chapter again next week. And when we revisit, what we can do, that we can just share our experiences over the next 1 week as we apply these techniques, which is being suggested by Napoleon Hill. है ना? दूसरे करके देखते हैं how it comes up. Okay, so last few words from anybody? Padma, Anjali?
Yeah. I've given a nutshell, like, so I'm convinced.
Convinced. If you convince, then the world is waiting to see another Mother Teresa kind of person here.
Yes.
You have the power. The only thing is you have to believe it. That's it.
Absolutely.
You
So,
just need to believe.
yeah. Honoring it and elevating it.
Beautifully summarized. Beautiful. Okay, angels.
Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
for another power packed session.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's come back
Thank
with
you,
your
everyone.
learnings, experiences over next week, next Tuesday.
Sure.
Okay, sure.
Have it. Yeah.
All right.
Bye
So I have a
bye.
session at 8 o'clock Tuesday with Life Coach
Yes, sir.
Pinaki. You can come and join the session also. I will be having some very
Okay.
interesting and encouraging discussions. Bye bye.